At some point in your life, you will notice something disturbing. People don't respect you because you are kind. They don't fear you because you are honest. They don't take you seriously because you are right. People recalibrate their behavior for one reason only. They sense that you are not someone they can manipulate. The moment that realization hits them, the dynamic shifts. Conversations slow down. Words become more careful. Boundaries appear without you having to demand them. This is not motivational confidence. This is psychological dominance. And this is exactly how power has always worked, especially through the lens of Niccolo Machiavelli. Machiavelli never cared about how confident you feel inside. He cared about what others believe you are capable of doing. In his world, perception outweighs intention every single time. Most people unknowingly destroy their authority by over-explaining themselves, defending their decisions, justifying their emotions, and rushing to be understood. Every explanation is a small confession of need. And need in Machiavellian logic is vulnerability. The more you seek validation, the more leverage you hand to others. True intimidating. Confidence begins the moment you no longer feel compelled to explain yourself. The first principle is brutal but essential. People do not read your values. They read your signals, your posture, your silence, your reaction time, your restraint. When you speak too much, you reveal your inner landscape. When you react too fast, you reveal emotional dependency. When you rush to correct misunderstandings, you reveal fear of losing approval. The individual who radiates unsettling confidence is not louder, not aggressive, not dominant in obvious ways. They are calm in a way that feels unforced, unmoved in moments that normally provoke emotion. That calmness creates uncertainty, and uncertainty is the root of psychological fear. One of Machiavelli's most misunderstood insights is about emotional control. A person who is easily angered is predictable. A person who is easily pleased is manageable. A person who is easily offended is controllable. Emotional transparency makes you readable, and readability invites manipulation. This does not mean suppressing emotion entirely, but it does mean refusing to let emotion dictate behavior. When others realize they cannot push emotional buttons to move you, they lose their usual tools. This is when respect quietly turns into caution. Silence plays a central role here. Silence is not weakness when it is chosen. Silence is pressure. When you pause before answering, when you do not rush to fill conversational gaps, when you allow tension to exist without resolving it, you force the other person to carry the weight. Most people are deeply uncomfortable with silence because it removes social scripts. They begin to overtalk, over-explain, reveal. Meanwhile, you remain still. Machiavelli understood that the person who controls the pace controls the interaction. There is another layer most people never reach, and that is unpredictability. Not chaos, but strategic ambiguity. When people know exactly how you will react, they feel safe. When they feel safe, they test limits. When they test limits, they disrespect you. The intimidating individual is consistent in values, but unpredictable in response. Others never quite know when you will intervene, when you will disengage, or when you will draw a line. That uncertainty forces restraint. It forces calculation. It forces respect without confrontation. Many confuse intimidation with aggression. Machiavelli warned against this mistake. Aggression announces insecurity. Threats expose intent. Loud dominance invites resistance. Real power is the known capacity for force, paired with restraint. When people believe you are capable of escalation, but notice you rarely need to escalate. They assume the worst without you ever confirming it. The most feared individuals are not those who constantly prove their strength, but those whose strength is remembered, not displayed. Reputation matters more than momentary performance. Machiavelli believed authority is cumulative. It is built from small, decisive actions taken without spectacle. Do you reverse decisions under pressure, or do you stand firm without drama? Do you chase approval after conflict, or do you move forward unaffected? People remember patterns. Over time, those patterns become identity in the minds of others. Once that identity forms, you no longer need to assert yourself. The room adjusts before you speak. Here is where most people sabotage themselves. They confuse being liked with being respected. Machiavelli was unapologetically clear. Dependence on affection creates fragility. Love is conditional and unstable. Fear, when managed intelligently, is consistent. This is not fear of violence, but fear of losing leverage over you. Fear that you are not emotionally accessible, not desperate for approval, not invested in pleasing them. The ability to walk away calmly is one of the most powerful forms of dominance. The person who can leave without chaos controls the relationship. Before we continue, if this perspective is forcing you to see confidence, power and social dynamics differently, and you're looking for content that breaks down human behavior at this depth, subscribe now. This channel is not built for comfort. It is built for clarity, and what comes next goes even deeper. As this mindset solidifies, something internal shifts. You stop performing confidence and start embodying it. Your reactions slow. Your words become fewer. Your presence carries more weight. This is not because you are trying to intimidate, but because you have removed the behaviors that invite disrespect. People sense this change instinctively. They adjust their tone. They test less. They explain more. This is the silent feedback loop of power. The final truth of Machiavellian confidence is uncomfortable, but liberating. You do not need to be cruel to be feared. You do not need to dominate to be respected. You only need to be unexploitable. Once people realize they cannot manipulate you emotionally, rush you psychologically, or pressure you socially, they begin to treat you differently. Not because you demanded it, but because the cost of misjudging you feels too high. This is the confidence that unsettles others. Not loud, not arrogant, not performative, but quiet, grounded, and non-negotiable. The kind of confidence that does not ask permission, does not seek applause, and does not explain itself. Stay with this channel, because in the next video, we will break down how to translate this internal authority into body language, speech patterns, and daily interactions without saying a single intimidating word, and why silence, when mastered, becomes your most dangerous weapon.